through the province for a couple of years. A lot of fighters who just run out of their routine and go to the gym, train for MMA, this and that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters, like Bradley Gate's gone, Chris Johnson's gone, there's a lot of fighters that walk out because there was no more MMA, no more show. And that was pretty funny though, you know, like, that was cool shit, pretty much. Because there was only MMA legal in Moncton. And I started to get cool with Steven and Mike and all that, and I said, listen, I called him Dalhousie. And I asked him, I explained to him what was really MMA, like how it started, UFC, like UFC 1. I said, there's two guys from up north who went to see Dalhousie, the town, and he said, no, we don't want to hear anything about that.
Yeah.
But he said, you, the way you explained to me, like what was really MMA, he said, yeah, he said, like, come over, and he said to me, he said, yeah, come over, we'll sit down and talk about it, and we'll try to fix some things that looked pretty interesting and that. So I went over there, he told me there was a that went over there, Lousy.
My best friend.
Yeah, yeah, and Peter Benacci, or RCMP, Golden Boxing Glove, I don't know if you know him, Peter Benacci.
No.
RCMP from up north. So we went over there, and they didn't want it. I mean, like, we just fucking turned around, and that's it. But I called them, and I told them, I said, like, they're not street fighters. I mean, they're all black belts, and jiu-jitsu, blue belt, brown belt, jiu-jitsu, and black belt, and taekwondo, and all that. I mean, like, they're breaking freaking 2x4s and everything. I mean, that's what they want. They want to get in there and fight each other. Why not give it to them? Like, it's not like they're on drugs or anything. They're in good shape. They're in the gym. They're training, and they work
Some of
out.
them are on drugs.
Yeah.
You gotta throw that in there.
So, yeah. So he said, yeah, he said, really interesting and all that. And they were in a hole with everyone on the Lousy. They were straight in a hole, and they tried to, I can't help you guys, this is to rebuild again, like, try to make something, to bring some things and all that. Like, said, okay, so we tried to build a commission. And then we went and get the viola. Remember that? We almost got a show in the Lousy, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It was in the newspaper and everything. And we had the viola in the Lousy, and we built a commission and all that.
Okay.
Steve almost came and make a show in the Lousy. Came and see me. I was the one who was making, didn't sign the contract because it was all my collection, all the people that I know. So the Lousy told me, he said, we'll take care of the MMA if we start that. Yeah, no problem, for sure. You know them, you're the only one who knows them. So I said, okay. So then they start talking about me now. Who's that fucking clown there? That fucking got that. They bow and bite love and fucking shoot the Lousy, this bullshit, this and that. Who's that fucking clown? Yeah, they were all mad at me, or lots of them, they were fucking pissed at me, like, the fuck, man, I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And, like, people, fighter wants to go out, they just don't want to fight one time. I'm pretty sure, like, they want to, you like traveling, you want to go fight somewhere else too sometimes, and you had to do the right thing to help the fighters. I mean, like, you must like traveling and all that, go somewhere else. Yeah. So we got all that in Dalhousie, but I don't know what we did wrong. The guy, the mayor from Dalhousie, sent me an email right away. He said, Joel, we got to stop that right away. He said, the cops, or if you just call here, if we do that, he said, everybody's get charged. So I guess we're not legal. So, okay, we'll do that right now. So I called Steven or Mike, I don't remember. I said, you know what? I knew that was coming. So I said, I'll send you the email. No, he said, I believe you. He said, this fucking pissing me off because we're almost there or whatever. See you on the 1 cards. So your hand's going pretty good now, I guess. What, 2-3 months you should be alright?
Yeah, it's about 85% now. You know, it's probably. I just need to more so get back in my sport and get it moving again. Yeah. But I want to let it rest and do rehab as long as I could. because the more you rush it, you hear fighters all the time, right? They'll have an injury, and it's happened to me before. And you get excited, you want to get back, and they break it again, right? Then it takes twice as long to heal. So I just want to give it as much time as possible, and like I said, it's about 85% now, and be ready to break it off somebody else's head.
Did you see all that? They know about that doing it? They know it's like you getting.
I'm pretty sure the management company was.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't.
Heard.
That's why we weren't going to do the contender series, because I was in July, and I'm just getting back to training now. So it's like I said, end of October is a really good time for me. So no, it's my fault. The last two fights, I asked John to do a.
But you hit hard, Christian.
I hit hard, but
I kill someone one of these days. Holy shit! You see his freaking head bang on the floor. His head goes like this on the floor. Holy
He generates so much power on the ground.
He's gonna kill a fucking guy.
Well, that's my thing. I'm stubborn, and I asked John to do a thinner tape job on me, because I always said, I'm never gonna break my hands, and I broke my hands. So next time we're thickening it up.
What happens is that the way you hit, you just.
Well, no, I just usually, like, John does like a nice thick tape job, because the thicker the tape job, the less likely you're going to injure it, right? And I asked him my last two fights, it's my fault, just to throw it out there, because I'm stubborn, and I wanted more mobility in my hands, right? And I was like, I want a thinner tape job, because I don't feel like I'll ever break my hand, and of course I go out there and break my hand, right? So it's my fault, but it's a lesson learned, and I'm glad I learned it earlier, right? So
Yeah.
Nick had a big head, so
you
could eat a punch. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But
You do those ones from the back of the turtle.
Yeah.
Generates a lot of power.
Yeah, man. He could eat a
Fats
punch.
hurt too. Fats hurt. Won't. Same thing.
Yeah.
But the last fight, you fight when he punched you, and your knee feel like you went down a little. You must have been surprised at that punch.
Yeah, it was just it was a good punch, man. I'm not gonna deny it. It wasn't like I was like, oh.
No.
I wasn't dazed or anything, but it was enough to be like, shit, this guy's got power. And the thing is, man, so many people are like, it was as much of a disadvantage for me, if not more, than it was for him to take the fight on short notice, right? Because we trained for a specific guy who literally could not be more opposite style, right?
Yeah.
So literally everything I trained was for the 6'3" southpaw, and all my combinations, all my takedowns, everything was, I'm big on game planning, right? And then 48 hours before the fight, I find out I'm fighting like the short, stocky, completely different guy, right? And
you were happy on the video.
no.
No fucking blame.
Yeah, so he still made weight. We were talking about guys missing weight. Like he had that happen. He still made weight. So.
And honestly, man, all these guys know I was sick that fight. I had a pretty bad cold. I think that factors in, but
Yeah, you train for one kind of guy for one fight, and then at the last second you find that out, and plus you gotta go up weight.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like I'm not a big middleweight. That's why I'm moving down. And then I do a catchweight fight at 200 from a guy who walks around probably 220. But I mean, he landed one punch, then a minute and a half later, he's getting his head caved in. So good for him. I wouldn't talk shit, but he decided to run his mouth. So nothing but respect to these guys, man. That's what bugs me too, right? And you guys all see me after the fight, man. I always give my opponents a hug. I say thanks so much. Give them a shout out on Facebook. Then they want to be tough guys afterwards. It drives me nuts.
You tripped me up.
But, I'm just trying to, like I said, it's a good thing I got these guys around me, and just try to be the bigger man, and, it taught me a lesson, man. I can't expect people to treat me the same way I treat
all
them.
the fighters, but you always get someone for leftovers. I mean, like, it's like this for everybody. I'm not gonna hide it, and, there's a lot of people probably gonna hide that. I don't hide that. I mean, I like everybody, and, like, they work hard and everybody, but there's always someone
It's always one.
lines.
Oh, it's always one.
Because every fucking time you fight, you always stress me out. Like, oh, shit, I can't get that fight gets over. But the last time when you win there, the fight before that, I think, I don't know if it was the last fight, the one before, and you win that fight, and you jump, I jumped. I mean,
that was the title fight for Christien.
Yeah. I didn't realize right away when I look around, me, people were looking at me. I said, look, my, what do you always come to me? We're sure the big guy.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, holy fuck, I said, what the hell I just did there? He said, me, Christien win, I just fuck it. I said, what the fuck, what kind of media would do that?
Yeah, but that's the thing, you get to know the guys and, you know, you have a lot of respect for them. And then when they do win, you just, it's like, it's an amazing feeling, you know?
Yes.
That's the thing with me too, man. You know, a lot of guys like to put on an image and pretend they're these nice guys, these martial artists. And with me, it's like what you see is what you get, you know? And I think that's why people respect me is because, you know, they know I'm not trying to put an image out there, you know?
No.
This is who I am, and, you know, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fake people out there, man.
I walk around. Well, yeah, I like it. I walk around with freaking cage with the camera and taking pictures.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get your face all right in the cage. There's one, and I was right there, about like that from you.
Nice.
You were trying to be the guy. You look at me right in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
That time, yeah. You should look at the video and you look at me right in my face, and I was there with the camera. And I did this. When you look at me.
What would you rather do on a Saturday night?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more. It's so much fun, just the training and then the night, you know, the night of, and getting prepared. And, it's amazing. Amazing to be part of a good team, you know.
Yeah, yes.
And the energy, you know, win, lose, or draw, you know. These guys, they're inspiring, you know.
Yeah.
It really is. It's inspiring to see how hard they work. And like I said, win, lose, or draw, you know, they do everything they can to win, put on a show, and you know, improve themselves and the sport, right? So it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah, and it's just like something else. Now you know him. It's not like he's a new team and new student that walks in here. You've been training with him for 12 years. I mean, since he's 12 years old.
He stresses me out sometimes.
Okay.
That first fight, the first pro fight.
Oh yeah.
I lost my voice. Oh man.
That's why it's you know, it's more emotional than other sports too, right? Because it's like, you know, you're going up there, you know, this GSP said it best, you know, aside from war itself, you know, that's the most dangerous thing you can do, right? So that's why it's you know, like I can only imagine what it's like for him to watch me fight, because when you know, Joe, for example, Joe Pilmer, who trains here, is a buddy of mine, you know, I almost get more stressed out when he fights than when I fight, right? Because I'm like, you know, that's like my brother in here, you know, and I have no control, right? So it's like, you know, like I said, like it's an emotional sport, right? Because people can get hurt in there, you know. So yeah, you know, I think that's why martial arts, you know, it seems to be like, it's a lot more bonding, you know, because you know, there's a lot more on the line than just losing a basketball game. And I'm not hating on other sports, but my opinion is, you know, if basketball, soccer, tennis, all these things are sports, this isn't a sport. You know what I mean? It's a little more than a sport.
Yeah.
It's fighting with rules, you know?
Yeah.
It's prize fighting, essentially.
You lose the basketball game, you don't have a black eye.
You got your ego.
It's not a
challenge
ball.
there. Like I said, some guys, you know, I understand the emotion because, you know, they work their ass off and maybe they lost a basketball game. This is like, you lose, you're probably waking up with a doctor in your face, you know. It's a nasty sport, you know. It's a beautiful but nasty sport.
At the end of the day, like, you're only as good as your last fight. Like, you lose one fight and guy's no good, he's washed. It must be so stressful, you know, for these fighters, because you know, everybody jumps on the bandwagon when you're winning, but as soon as you lose or you don't win with a big knockout, you know.
Well, it's like the time I fought Kwame, the colored guy there. Do you remember that?
What guy?
The black guy, James Kwame. Yeah.
What's got that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways.
Me and my partner, we said, holy shit, that's gonna be a freaking word. So look, that guy. He said, yeah, he fucking pretty cut.
Yeah.
I said, I know.
I don't know what supplements he was on, but anyways. But these guys know, man. I hate to make excuses, but man, I was wrapped up in blankets backstage. I got really sick, like flu sick. Like even Aldrich, I don't even like him, but he can vouch for that. Like I was really sick. I was just going to the bathroom, shitting my brains out before that fight. And you could see it, man. I was pale as a ghost. Anyways, but that being said, like at first I was so pissed off after that fight, like these guys all know. But now I look back, man, I'm like, that's one of my proudest moments because like I had nothing. I won that fight on heart. I remember like the first clinch, I was like, I can't feel my legs. Like I had nothing that fight. I was done. And I always tell this funny story after the first round. I was sitting on my stool, my wrestling coach, Clint, was like, how do you feel? I'm like, man, like, I can't feel my legs, I'm tired. And he's like, look at him. And I just see Kwame like, that's the only thing that made me feel better was that he was a little more tired than I was.
Yeah.
But people don't get it, man. And that's why that's one of my proudest moments because as you can see too, as the rounds went, I actually got stronger and he got weaker, right? And 5 more seconds of that fight, it would have been over, right? The last 10 seconds I had him mounted, chipping my elbow off his head, literally.
I think if they had hit the 10-second mark, that the referee would have jumped in and stopped that.
Do you remember that fight?
Yes.
Yeah. The last 10 seconds I had him mounted.
He was about to jump in and then boom, 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of let it go out like a man, I guess. So it was all right.
But like I said, like at first I was so pissed off, but now it's like one of my proudest moments because I got through like severe adversity. It goes to show like even if my body is at like 20%, my mind and my heart will take me further than even if my body's not going. So I'm really happy about that fight.
So you've been tested.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say a loss is a good thing, but you've been tested the best way possible.